topic is Muslims' rise in government. Is politics the answer? Is politics the answer? And that was a question, and this is my answer. My answer is that politics is an answer. Politics is an answer. Okay? And the essence of politics, from a legislative point of view, is the embodiment of a group's interests in the form of law. The embodiment of a group's interests in the form of law. Laws are what they are. Legislation is what it is because a group of people with the power got together and they embodied those interests in the law. So those people who are interested in legalization of alcohol, they embody that interest in the law. Those that have banking interests, they embody their interest in the law. Those who have interest in the insurance industry, they embody that interest in the law. So we need to have people who are in position to make policy and to make law in order to embody our interests in the law. And if we don't have someone representing our interests, then there's no way for our interests ever to be embodied in the law. So that's the very simple framework and function of law in society, and that's what it actually represents. So do we have to have Muslim politicians? Absolutely, we have to have Muslims in politics because Muslims have interests. And in order to have those interests embodied in the law, we have to have our representatives in the decision-making position in order to do exactly that. Always I'm interested in sharing things that, I like to give things that you can take home and use no matter what field that you're in. And here's one right now. I love to work with letters, i.e. alphabets, acronyms. This is less an acronym than just a set of letters. It's P, V, G, R, S, P. And those of you who are administrators in whatever field, if you're working with a group, if you have goals, this is one of the most simple ways to get to the mission statement, to get to the vision statement, to get to those things, without spending a lot of time. And each one of those letters stand for something. P, purpose. V, values. G, goals. R, roles. R-O-L-E-S, roles. S, structure. And the last P is policy. So it's purpose, values, goals, roles, structure, and policy. Purpose, value, goals, roles, structure, and policy. And very, very short version of this is you start with whatever it is that you set as a purpose. And whenever you set as a purpose, then you imagine that purpose as a tool. You imagine it as a tool. I like to use as an example your group, your organization, and just walk through that process. Why do we exist? Why is that important? What's the value of our existence? Why is that important? What is the goal state? When we do what we're supposed to do, what will exist after we finish doing it? That's the goal state. And then again, conclusively, the roles. Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? Okay, how are we going to answer to each other? How are we going to be organized, related, affiliated with each other? Now you're talking about structure. And then finally, let's just write out our policy. And the thing that gets published is the policy. On the inside, everybody knows what led to the policy, and everybody knows why the policy exists, and that's